Thank you very much. I'm not very much sure that the introduction of my personality is correct. We will talk about this just in a minute. At any rate, instead of having a formal presentation, allow me to talk and discuss this presentation of Professor Bunger, just a question and answer. And I appreciated very much that he looked into the issue of evidence-based medicine and evidence-based medicine in orthopedics. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in charge at Ghent State University of Training. Evidence-based is not always what we encounter or easy to learn and teach to our residents. Even though this is absolutely necessary, we need to have this evidence-based to go on with teaching and objectivate our results. In this evidence-based medicine, we have to look into organizations before we can treat our patients, like the FDA, or now in Europe, the EMEA. And I was involved in a cartilage research project with the University of Leuven. And we needed to go to EMEA to prove our early results, that it would be beneficial both for our patients, but also for society. It was not very easy to go through these fieldings and work with this society, with this organization. And my question to you is, do you feel that this FDA or EMEA is sometimes a burden for us and would sometimes delay developments that we think on our early results would be beneficial to our patients? How do you feel about this?
Actually, I have no personal experience with that, because we are not. I think that this institution comes into a real pre-market situation. If you want to launch a product yourself, you have to really go into this. But is this a question? I must ask you whether it's a question about this 590K.
It goes with that. It goes with that indeed. The problem is that when you do a research on a very focused project, sometimes you have experts in the group, but sometimes you really have no experts, and sometimes you are the expert. And to go and prove some things and look that might fit in the evidence-based medicine is not always an easy thing.
No, it's not easy, but I think that to have an exterior part evaluating your approach is always very fruitful. And this we also have with our big grant applications. We also always have international evaluators. So, and even to go into PhD school in my university now, we have evaluators. So this actually gives, I think it gives a much better power, and better situation. So you don't waste your time, or the student don't waste his time.
Exactly.
So I think it's very important.
Thank you. There is another question that I looked into your presentation, and it's trauma care, and probably it will be discussed a little bit later on today or tomorrow. But trauma care, and I'm kind of in charge of trauma care at our department, even though I'm not in spine trauma. But trauma care is kind of resolved in Europe, I would say. We see the cases of trauma just really dwindling down. As you, as president of CICOT, you must see that across the world, trauma care is increasing. Every big player of the big five is involved in trauma preparations and trauma implants. And to me, teaching to the other countries would be very interesting to limit this involvement of which we know happens in Europe and the US.
Absolutely, this is a real reason for globalization of orthopedics, that we get all the knowledge out there, and we also look really what is the problem at the various places. So I really feel that this is where the CICOT mission is very strong, but also the bone and joint decay activity. I did not say that, but I must say that it has been a tremendous, I'm not been directly involved, but it has been a tremendous strength, being an anonymous orthopedic surgeon, really to have this bone and joint decay as a big brother, justifying what we thought and what we wanted to do. And so we are partners. As a CICOT president, the CICOT had, we must be partners in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will not take too much of your time except to thank the organizing committee and Professor Lidgren for giving me the opportunity to join you here, and I'll work together in the other decade with you in the future for all these events and purposes that are so broadly needed. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.